So it's been a little while since I've addressed, some things that I said, about sharing my life story and things that I've been through in my life, that, not a lot of people kind of will really know. A lot of you people knew me or, you went to school with me, but you guys didn't actually know what I was going through, on a day to day. And, we all, I'm sure, have dealt with a lot of different and unique experiences. But, you know, the reason why I'm coming forth today to finally share, in detail the things that I've experienced and been through is because I am doing it, to help anyone that has gone through similar or is going through the same thing that I had experienced, growing up, and the effects leading up to now that, it weighed on and weighs on in your life. And I think that, you know, a lot of people are afraid nowadays, I feel like, and it's not to offend anyone when I say that, it's more so just there's a fear, I feel like, of speaking out and just being honest about things that you've went through because of, how people will criticize you, or everyone of course has an opinion, but at the end of the day, I feel like if we talk about the things that we've gone through and we're willing to share about it, it only helps make you stronger. It only helps make others stronger because you can connect with them and actually understand each other and know that, you're not the only one who's gone through something, similar, like, an experience that, may not have been the best experience in your life, but you're a better person, or you uh, at least have worked within yourself, to learn from these experiences to where it makes you, a better person, if not, gives you more growth personally in your life in some way, some way. It always seems to happen that way, at least from my experience and perspective with other people that I've met or learned from in my life this far. But, you know, I wanted to come forth today, to really, again, share my story and hope that somebody can relate out there and, you know, just feel for, not just what I went through, but be willing to actually hopefully share, even whether it's with me or someone else that's closer to them, but being from my experience, at least, and the things that I've been through, I'm always going to be there for anybody because, I know what, it feels like when you have no one there for you. Even to this day, yes, I have people there for me, but in a familial sense, there isn't that many that are there for me. There are, definitely many family members that I do have respect for and I do care about. But a majority of them, and it's unconditional with all of them from my standpoint. But from them, some of them, nowadays act like they care, but they did things in the past that, deeply affected me and still haven't really, I feel like, come to terms with that. And then there's other people who just completely misunderstood me and who I am for reasons I don't even understand to this day. Dude, I'm just being me and trying to be a good and respectful human being the best that I can. But no, at the end of the day, nobody and not all people are going to understand you, even when you're just who you are, you know. And even if who you are is a good person, it's like it doesn't always see to the same eyes as what you see, So without further ado, this isn't to expose anyone, this isn't to bash anyone, but I have always kept it honest. And, anybody that I've met or has met me in the real world, to this day and more current after going through the experiences that I've gone through, knows a lot of this stuff, but this is for the people that actually care, that are willing to listen and just hear, from someone who's gone through depression, and still goes through depression, here and there. I don't have it as bad as I did before, but I have days, man, where, dude, I won't do shit, man. I won't do anything for myself, and it's sad that I can even openly admit that, but, that's life, man. That's shit that I've gone through and that has affected me because of it all. There are days where, dude, I just think about the fact that, if anything happened to me, I doubt any family would know or even care, bro. Like, that's my life, I have to come to terms with that, you know. Um, there's many things, and feelings that I could share and that I'm gonna be sharing that, I just hope that at least one person can relate to, whether being homeless, any type of circumstance, financial, ruin, any kind of circumstance, man. I just hope that what I share can at least touch somebody. It doesn't even have to be people I knew or know. I just hope that it really can genuinely touch somebody, and even if it just touches one person, that would be the world to me, because I know, again, what it feels like to have nobody there for you and have a place, being at a young age when becoming a man, you know, you feel like there's no option for you other than basically, ruin or pain or destruction in other people's lives, if not yourself. So, you know, to rise out of all of that, you know, I was fortunate, to have people around me who cared enough, who weren't even family, some were family and did care, you know, temporarily, or the little ways that they could. And I am just as appreciative as the people who extended further, who weren't even my family, who I'm thankful for even to this day, even though things fell out practically the same as practically with my own blood related family. So it's like, at the end of the day, again, this is to just share my story and hope that at least one person can relate or even just better understand me and who I am, you know. But more so, I think that this video is just going to be made to help people and help people understand that you can still overcome through homelessness, through depression, through financial ruin, through nobody having your back, man, through it all. Okay, so here we go.